Katie Denholm. I work at the University in Glasgow, and we're going to do a roundup of take-home messages for calving and lambing time.
My name's Haggerty. I am the vet here at Barnbacco, but I also work alongside Katie at the University of Glasgow.
So around calving and lambing time, it's really important that we understand whether the babies are getting enough immunity from their mothers. So for both sheep and cattle, we have this really weird situation where there's no immunity transferred to the unborn baby in its mother's tummy. So when the animal is born, it needs to ingest colostrum in order to absorb antibodies. And when that doesn't happen, we say that they have failure to transfer passive immunity, which means that they're more likely to get sick, more likely to die, less likely to grow well. So around calving and lambing time, colostrum management is of paramount importance. And in the sheep and beef system, a lot of the colostrum management questions are quite hands-off. So the animal needs to ingest enough high-quality colostrum at the right time. And what that looks like for a sheep and beef system is priming the mother to be able to produce enough high-quality colostrum, and then for the baby to stand up and drink from its mother in a timely way to be able to ingest enough of it. When that doesn't happen, sometimes we have to intervene, and Ali's going to talk a little bit more about some pitfalls of intervening in colostrum management. But at this time of year, a lot of the stage has already been set in terms of animal nutrition and setting the cow or ewe up to produce nice quality colostrum in enough volume. And so at this time of year, we're sort of looking towards measurement. So we need to decide whether the colostrum is of adequate quality, and you can do that really easily on farm by using a Brix refractometer to check colostrum quality, and you can use the same device to measure the antibody in the newborn lamb or calf's blood at usually about 2 days old. We blood sample them, or your vet can. And then, of course, there's the other question about nutrition and body condition score, but as I've already said, the lay of the land is already set. But you might want to collect some body condition score data from the animals in close-up to calving or lambing time in order to work out whether you think they've retained enough condition in the run-up to be able to produce enough high-quality colostrum for their babies.
So my take-home messaging for this lambing and calving is avoiding unintended consequences. Sometimes when the process that Katie's just described hasn't worked and we need to intervene and we might need to supplement colostrum, replace colostrum, there can be unintended consequences with this. We did some work last year at Barnbacco. We looked at how many bugs there were in this supplementary colostrum, in the feeding equipment and things like that, and we found that they were quite dirty. And I think that is a picture that we might see repeatable on quite a lot of farms. So it's attention to detail. It's a simple message of, have we got enough feeders and stomach tubes or bottles or things like that to allow the ones that are in use to be cleaned properly? Because if the contamination is really high of these feeders, we make the colostrum very dirty. And whilst the intention is good, that we want to give them extra and top them up so that they can get adequate passive transfer, if it's too contaminated from dirty feeding equipment, well, we're actually giving the lamb or a calf a big slug of bacteria, and that has negative impact on passive transfer, but also some of these bugs can cause disease in their own right. So whilst, again, the intention is good, the execution hasn't been brilliant and we've done harm rather than good. So my take-home message would be a little bit of attention to detail to the cleaning and the cleanability of feeding equipment and storage of colostrum, and what are your pinch points in your system, what can we do to make it easier and better.
Yeah. And we both, we're under no illusion that, this is easy to do in a busy lambing and calving period.
Yeah, easy to say,
yeah.
Sometimes difficult to do.
Yeah.
So it will look different for different people in different systems, but let's have it in the back of our mind. We really don't want unintended negative consequences when the intention has been good. And often that unintended consequence comes from really simple things like dirty feeding equipment.
Yeah, just like a scrubbing brush and some fairy liquid and some elbow grease, which is difficult to implement when you're really busy running about, but it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, we're just planting the seed that it's there, and let's have a wee look at it.